Hey everybody, it's Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset. How are you? Thank you for joining me for another Food for Your Soul vlog. We've been talking a lot about mental health. So this particular quote came to me, and sometimes you just need a simple explanation to understand what it is you may be going through, or one of your loved ones, male or female. This quote states, "No, you're not just emotional. When someone's verbal affects your mental, don't wait for the physical, it's already abuse." So, oftentimes, people that are in that situation give excuses to say, oh, it's just words, it's just this, or I'm just tripping, or the person on the other side is saying, that's you, you're just emotional, you misunderstand everything I say, everything I do. And now you're coming into question about every play, replaying it through your head, replaying every action, replaying every word, replaying every conversation, writing it down, recording it, whatever you're doing, trying to give yourself better clarity to what it is that's already mentally beating you down and tormenting you. And that becomes emotional abuse, because now your nerves are wrecked. You're always on guard. You're paranoid. You're anxious. You develop all these different attachments that come with that. And people that are emotionally neglectful towards you, emotional abusive towards you, anything that affects your mental, that has you questioning your own thoughts, anything that has you questioning someone's motive, anything that has you questioning, why did you lie to me and you got caught and you still are lying to me and you still beating me down, anything that questions, why am I here? Don't wait for it to become physical. It's already mentally, emotionally, and verbally abusive. And that's over time. Sometimes you get it, the slap right upside your head right then and there, and you know for a fact this is something I'm not supposed to be in. But over time, people do subtle jabs, subtle blows to break down your once clear consciousness of thought. And now you got all this clutter that you don't know how to decipher whether this is meant for that intent, this intent, that intent. And then you're going on and on and on, trying to process something that's not processable. And I made that word up. Trying to process something that's not meant for you to process, but to purge and get away from and pull away from. Because no matter the length of time, don't ignore mistreatment of any kind. Stop trying to figure it out. What we do know is it's a pleasure and delightful feeling to build something or someone up. When you're feeling or being torn down at any capacity, it's not the remnants of a positive reinforcement. It's the causal effects from being broken down over time and self-inflicting pain and guilt and shame. That was the caption in that Food for Your Soul quote. And I think that's the best way I can caption it now. You know it's not positive reinforcement to say da-da-da-da-da-da, you suck, and da-da-da-da-da-da. You know that's not a positive reinforcement that's going to invoke some courage in you that's going to say, you love me, and that's why you did it. But oftentimes we find ourselves in those situations giving permission and acceptance to somebody beating us down mentally, questioning our mental or emotional feelings, or questioning our judgment, when of one course you knew that wasn't you at one point. You were pretty clear. You were a clear conscious type thinking person. And then it's just so convoluted because you sit there in such guilt and shame that you even had to get yourself to this point. Or you're at this point now where you're questioning everything and you don't know what's fact or fiction, and you start to shame yourself and be embarrassed about it, or you feel guilty about it. And that's what abuse is. All of those categories is a form of abuse. And that's what you need to know. So don't try to figure it out. If those things are happening and they're causing those effects to your mental, don't wait for the physical. A scar is a lot deeper than the surface of the physical flesh that we see it on. A scar, a verbal scar, a mental abuse scar, a emotional scar can be so deep rotted, and it stains our heart and hardens our heart so heavy that you're looking for the exterior when the interior is broken down and torn to pieces. Don't self-inflict. Don't impose these things upon yourself. When someone takes that and does that to people, it is intentional and deliberate, and it's probably something that was learned behavior from a child rearing or their parents. It was a learned communication skill, and you have to come out of that and know that that's not what you deserve, that's not what you're willing to accept. And furthermore, I'm not trying to figure it out no more. You just have to walk into it and know that that's a disturbed groove that you're trying to get up out of. And we all make mistakes, and we can forgive, but let's just stop being so easy to forget, because sometimes when you want to try to push it out your mind to forget, it's one thing to forget, it's one thing to act like it didn't happen. Don't be in denial. That's when you start self-inflicting your own pain in your own life and carrying that baggage around with you until whenever. All right? Address it, deal with it. You are powerful. You are mighty. You have full authority, and you can achieve and come out of these things as beautiful as you already are. Okay? God's love and God's peace to you all. Until next time, I'm Ava Cherie.